Okay, turn to Romans 8, verse 14. If you're led by the Spirit of God, you are sons of God. You've not received the spirit of slavery leading to fear again, but you've received a spirit of adoption as sons, which we cry, Abba, Daddy, Father. The Spirit himself testifies with our spirit that we are children of God. And if we are children, listen, if we are children of God, you got to get this. If we are children of God, listen, don't pass it by like something you've read a million times. If you're a child of the person who's God, then you are heirs. Heirs also. Heirs of God. Fellow heirs with Christ. And if indeed you suffered with him, so that you may be also glorified with him. For the anxious longing of creation waits eagerly for the revealing of the sons of God. For creation itself was subjected to futility, not willingly, but because him who subjected it in hope that creation itself would be set free from slavery to corruption into the freedom of the glory of the children of God. For we know that all of creation groans and suffers the pains of childbirth together until now. What's he saying? You know what he's saying? He's saying that the devil knows who you are. And God knows who you are. Creation knows who you are. It's only you who don't know who the heck you are. And all of creation is groaning. See, when Adam and Eve sinned, it wasn't just humans that were cursed. It was creation. Remember, he said to Adam, you will till the ground. You're going to work hard, but you know what it's going to do? It's going to yield thorns and thistles. That's why Jesus said, preach this gospel to all creation. The gospel's not just for people, it's for creation. Isn't that interesting? What is creation groaning for? It's groaning for the sons of God to be revealed. Why? Because Adam subjected creation to futility. What does that mean? It means that it became purposeless. You know, in the book of Ecclesiastes where it says, it's all vanity, same word. It means it's all for nothing. But remember Romans 1 said God's invisible attributes, his eternal power and his divine nature are clearly seen in what God made. In other words, creation had a purpose to display the glory of God. But what happened when Adam fell? The earth itself was cursed. And what's it waiting for? It's saying, listen, you got released from the curse on the cross. And we're waiting for the sons of God to be revealed so that we can be released from the curse of slavery into the freedom of the children of God. How did the verse start out? Remember, Romans said, we're no longer enslaved to fear, but now we're released to freedom because we're children of God, joint heirs of Christ. Creation goes, that's great for you, but we're still under a curse. Until you figure out who you are, we're under this curse. And we want to be a new creation too. That's why the gospel was to be preached to all creation, so that creation could be released from the curse and be released back into its purpose, which was to give glory to God. When does creation get released from the curse? As soon as you figure out who you are. What's the point? You rock, you just don't know it. You were born to reign. What Genesis chapter 1, be fruitful and multiply and take dominion. Daniel chapter 7, dominion, glory, and a kingdom shall be given to the saints of the highest one. What is Daniel saying? I see a time when the original creation, the original call of creation was restored to the children of God. When's that supposed to happen? It already happened. Well, isn't that in the millennium? No, that's not in the millennium. I'm sorry. It says, when this Ancient of Days took his seat, judgment was passed in favor of the saints of the highest one, and the time arrived for the saints to take possession of the kingdom. I'm sorry, that already happened. That already happened. You can't argue that that hasn't happened. It was the Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. You got born again so you can come into the kingdom. You got transferred from the kingdom of darkness into the kingdom of his beloved Son. You've already received every spiritual blessing in heavenly places. You've become children of God. No longer are you under fear of slavery, but now you've been released as sons in which we cry, Daddy, Father. Now you're heirs of God, fellow heirs of Christ Jesus. That's already past tense. It happened. If you're waiting for that to happen, you're waiting for nothing. Go make a withdrawal on your account. The reason why you can heal the sick, raise the dead, and cast out demons is because of who you are. Jesus didn't say, pray for the sick. He said, heal the sick. Well, only God can heal the sick. That's why he said, be imitators of God. Listen, I can't heal the sick. Only God can heal the sick. That's right. You are sons of God. In fact, Jesus quoted the psalmist when he said, you are gods, and the word gods is little g. Ye is big G, and you are little g. You're little g God. I understand we're not Mormons. Don't take this too far. I'm saying that before you were born again, you were created a little lower than the angels. But when you got born again, the angels serve you. Now you became heirs of salvation in which the angels serve. You didn't make you this. Listen, you didn't make you this. If you did, then you would be arrogant. All you're doing is receiving what Daddy did for you. Daddy did this for you. And that's why you can say, if you don't believe me on account of my words, then believe me on account of my works, because greater works shall you do when I go to be with the Father. What's the point? The reason why you do miracles is because your Daddy is God. Jesus never said, go out and pray for the sick. He said, go heal the sick. Only God can heal the sick. You are heirs to the throne. You're acting like God because you are children of God. Your Daddy is in charge of the universe. Listen, if you teach people to heal the sick, raise the dead, and cast out demons, and you don't teach them who they are, then they have a performance-based identity. But as soon as you figure out who you are, you're like, if that's who I am, where's my power? The reason why miracles didn't pass away with the apostles is because you are children of God. From the time Jesus died on the cross to the time he returns for you, you will still be a child of God. And you only know how to act supernaturally because your Daddy is the God of the universe. When you act like God, you're being yourself. That's why Paul said in Ephesians 5, be imitators of God. What are you doing? I'm acting like my Daddy. Creation is waiting for you to get it. It's under a curse because you don't know who you are. Well, you know, we don't want to build ourselves up too big. Just a sinner saved by grace. I'm just lucky to get in. That's what I am. Well, that's a really weird way to act when Jesus said in John 17, Father, the glory you gave me, I want you to give them. Well, I believe in prayer, but I don't know if he answered that one. Do you think that Jesus said to the Father, the glory you gave me, I want you to give to them? John 17. And the Father said, I don't think so. Ain't going to do it. The only reason you have a bad thought in your head is because you have a devil who wanted to be what you became. He said, I will be like God. I will raise up into the assembly of the Most High, and I will be like God. And God said, no, you won't. You'll be thrust down. Where were you seated? In heavenly places. What did he want to be? I will sit in the assembly of the Most High. God goes, no, you won't sit in the assembly of nothing. You're going to the earth. He thrust him down to the earth. And then what did he do? He took away his power and let him live. What? So that he can watch. This is part of his punishment, was watching billions of people on the planet be made in the image of God. The very thing he wanted. He said, I will be like God. God goes, no, you won't. I will put you down on the planet, I will put you on this earth, and I will make billions of people like me. They will be made in my image and in my likeness. You will never forget me because they will step on your head time after time. And then when they get done tormenting you for thousands of years, then I'll throw you in the lake of fire. You were born to torment the tormentor. The devil's after me, the devil's after me, the devil's after me. Dude, no. You got it all screwed up in your brain. I don't know what to do. I'm under attack. Well, if you submit to God and resist the devil, I heard he runs. But the devil's like a dog. As long as you run, he'll chase you. He doesn't care if it's a little beefy dog and little fluffy duffies. If he yap, and you run, he will run after you. Have you ever thought of what would happen if you just stand there like, what are you doing? Man, you don't realize I have troubles in my life. Well, you can always tell the size of a man by the size of the problem it takes to discourage him. Do you have a trouble or do you have a miracle in your life? It looks like a problem. Well, listen, every miracle was a problem at one time until it became a miracle. You got to have a mess before you can have a message, and a test before a testimony. Listen to this. I'm almost done. Psalm 16:3. As for the saints who are on the earth, they are the majestic ones, in whom is all my delight. You're not nameless or faceless. You have a name and a face. Isaiah 55:5. Behold, you will call a nation you do not know, and a nation which knows you not will run to you. Because of the Lord your God, even the Holy One of Israel, he has glorified you. That's a good word. You rock. And you didn't even do it to you. Why don't you just try this? It'll be painful at first. Just say this. I am amazing. I am God's greatest creation. He loves me to death. I rock. I was born to do greater works than Jesus. I was born for glory. Nations are attracted to me because I'm so good looking. And I have the mind of Christ. Therefore I think like God. He's my inheritance. I'm his inheritance. And he actually likes me. And I like me too. And if you got to know me, you would like me. Creation knows who I am. The devil knows who I am. God knows who I am. The angels, they know who I am. And today, I know who I am.